afternoon, everyone. Could y'all hear me? Okay, Basima.
Hello? I can hear you.
Okay, hold on. Is Greg, are you on?
Yeah,
I
Okay.
can hear you.
that's
All
how
right.
you to see it.
Okay, so I would like to welcome everyone on. For the ones that know, don't know, my name is Elaine. Elaine Lee. I actually started healing through trauma last year when we went through the pandemic. So it's really like mother, like sons, myself and my son Greg, who is on my daughter Anaya. We come together just to, heal through this trauma. So during the pandemic, I learned that a lot of people was going through alone, whether it was COVID, whether it was cancer, whether it was losing a job, or anything could be some form of trauma. And so we got together and we just get on here the 2 Sundays of the month, the second and the fourth Sunday. And we just like to just be here as a village to walk each other through. So last week we was on depression. It could be on anything that you would like to be on. We just want to help each other through our weeks, or I guess every 2 weeks. We just want to move on. And so I usually like to open up in prayer. Again, this is not about any form of religion. It's not about politics. It's just us coming together as a village. I mean, if you believe in God, feel free to believe in whoever, but we just want to come together as a village. So, Boz, could you open up in prayer?
Sure can. Hey, everyone. Okay. Heavenly Father, we come before you, first of all, giving you thanks, oh God. Thank you for being in the mix of what Elaine is trying to do, oh God, healing through trauma, her and Greg. We ask that you just have everyone to be open to be able to discuss or share whatever it is that they're going through, just to let them know that you are God and all things can be done through you. We ask that you just be in the midst of it. And we just ask these things in your son, Jesus' name. Amen. Can't hear you, Elaine. You muted.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. For the ones that don't know, because there's some new people on here, my son Eric, which is behind me, was murdered in 2018. And then my son on the phone, Greg, was also shot, well, I want to say 2017, 18 times. And then again, after his brother was murdered, March the 1st, he was shot 2 months later, April the 4th, 7 times. And the girl that he was with in the car named Kelly, she also was with him. She got shot and she died and she passed away. May 4th? I said May 4th? April 4th. Okay, so it was May 4th. Now you always do that every time. I got to get the dates together. So Kelly passed away, and me and Greg, we started going into schools with other parents, which was other women. Sonia, who 3 sons was murdered. Ati, which was my daughter's friend. Her 5-year-old grabbed the gun out her pocketbook and shot the 4-year-old, and he passed away. And then I also had Amanda, who her son was murdered. We would go into the schools and we would talk to the children. Now, the mothers, we talk as mothers talking to children to let them know that sometimes, when you're in the street, or what you do to the loved ones behind, right? Whether it's anything, we just wanted them to know. And then my son and the other ones went in there and they talked from their view, right? Greg feel as though because Eric passed away and Kelly passed away, he felt like if he feels responsible for 2 lives. If he can save 2 lives or more, that's what we're trying to do. So we definitely about healing our community. Yesterday, I went to an event. It was for, I guess, anyone that lost a loved one. Their group is called Let's Heal Together. I don't know if Teresa is on his line, but I bought a shirt from him, which is very pretty. And it's called Let's Heal Together. And so we got there. She had lost, I think, I want to say 3 children herself. And so in that, y'all, I'm no longer in the councilman's office. I'm at Shani Baraka Center, which is really a center for domestic violence or different type of violence. And I am now the new advocate for violence. A victim advocate. So I advocate for victims and also advocate for victims of trauma. And so I started going to different places, reaching out to people. I have people on the line from RYO, who is a school where youth corp, and they have children from the ages of, I want to say 18, if I'm not right. Elliot, you could correct me, 18 to maybe 24. Elliot, you could correct me, but I went.
16 to 25 year olds.
Okay, 16 to 25-year-olds, and I went and I spoke to them last week just to let them know what I'm doing. And I'm gonna start a group with them on maybe Thursdays. I also spoke to Coach White, who has the same kind of community of students, and where we could just talk and share. And I just want to commend some of the students. If they're on here, they were really open. They talked, 2 of the guys, 3 of the guys, dialogue, talked about, things that's going on in their family. And actually, when I left, I kind of shed some tears because I was looking at them like, they could be mine, right? They're somebody's children, they're our children. And so again, I like to say to people, like, if you know some people or children that's going through, just give them a hug, just talk to them, And Ronnie wants to be, hey, Ronnie. And so that is that. So usually, if the floor is open, if anyone wants to share, we get someone talk about how our week went. We could pick a topic as we go along, and the floor is open. For the new ones, I try not to call them out, but we do have some new people on the line. So we have Radia Muhammad on the line. We have Ronnie, Brenda Edwards. So for the iPhone, if you're on the iPhone or a phone period, you can do, I want to say *6 or #6, and that will unmute you so you can talk. Greg, is there anything you would like to open up with? Radia, you unmuted. You want to say something?
Listening to a pod.
Radia. You're unmuted, Radia. Okay. Go ahead, Greg. Open up.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Valerie.
Hey, May.
How are you?
I just stopped to listen in.
Mhm.
I'm good. I'm good.
Would you like to share? Because I know you're going through some, hard times at this point. And my condolences on your mom. Of course, my mom passed as well, so I know how it feels. So if you would like to share, you could.
Wow. So I'm never going to tell anybody that it's an easy journey, because it hasn't been easy for me the last 3 months. Not just losing my mom, but just recently losing my nephew. I have sleepless nights. I just went back to work to try to get myself together, to try to stay focused. I'm dealing with the issues of family. You would think your family will hold you down and have your back, but it's never like that. Family will destroy you first, and you don't never see it coming. So I had to find my way to step back a little bit, to just say, you know what, I got this. If I keep letting people stand in my way, I wasn't going to get away. Thank you. And I'm talking while I'm on my way to work. So like you was talking about, I share these conversations with other people. I'm in this group, Sisters Motivating Sisters, and I share the trauma that I went through, being a victim of domestic abuse, and I lived that life for so long, and it's not easy. So I applaud you for going out here to help others, because at the time I had nobody to save me but God. Nobody knew what I was going through until I ended up in the hospital, and then I had to finally tell my mother what I went through one time. She didn't know about the rest of it. So I'm finally able to tell my story, because people judge you. Like, why did you let it happen? Why didn't you get away? It was hard to get away. Nobody didn't understand that. It was so hard to get away. Every time I tried to get away, I felt like my life was in more danger than anything. But I got away. because I asked God, if he take me out of that situation, I was never going back. Girl, that was the best thing that God ever done. He took me out of that situation. I didn't go back. I have no hate. I'm still here to tell my story. And I don't even talk a lot, but I was able to tell somebody else, like, when I see another female being abused, sometimes you can't say nothing to a lot of people. But when I'm seeing other people being abused, and I had to tell my niece this the other day because she told me what she was dealing with. And I told her she has to get out of that before it's too late. She's scared. Like, she's living in a different state and she's so scared. Like, she's worried about what he's going to do.
So Valerie, I have a question, and sorry to cut you off, but it's good to know as we go along. So because I'm working at the Shani Baraka Center, right, and I got to advocate for victims, I did look up my own information on domestic violence, right, and violence, period. And it did say, like you said to your cousin, it did say, well, you can't say get out or leave, because everybody leave at their own pace, or they may feel that they can no longer talk to you. So how do you go, because of being a victim of violence, yourself, domestic violence, was it that did somebody talk you through it, or you just was like, enough is enough?
So, and nobody knows this to this day, so I'm going to tell you.
Okay, so we are being recorded just in case.
It's okay.
All right.
The last point was tried to take my life out, told me I would never see my kids again. And I was like, what? And if it wasn't for people that lived in that same house that didn't come downstairs, because I was in tears and I was so scared for my life. And I stood there and all I could say is, God, if you just take me out of this relationship, and please let me just go home and be with my children again. I was not going back. I wasn't going back, because that relationship was the best thing at the beginning, but later on it turned into hell. And I couldn't understand why. Like, why am I going through so much? Like, I'm such a good person. I wasn't doing anything, but it wasn't me doing it. It was the other person doing it. And it's just like me. I wasn't ashamed to go to people's houses. Like, I know you know me. Like, what is your issue? What's going on? But it just got so hard. And I just got tired of the slaps, the abuses. I just got tired of being thrown over. I just got tired of fighting. It just gets so much. And nobody understands. It got so much for me that my children watched it for so long. And I'm telling you, the hurt, I cry every single day. I go to work crying. I go to sleep crying. Every single day I did that for so long, even when the relationship was over, because I was still scared. And I never went to counseling. And honestly, this day I already decided to go to therapy and some counseling for myself. Not for being a victim, for the loss of my mom, just for me, because I need it for myself. And my daughter told me a long time, she said, Mommy, it's not bad to go to counseling. It's not. It will help you. And I'm going because I believe it's going to help me.
And how old is your daughter? How old is your daughter?
She is now 34. She's 35. No, oh my God, Elaine. Now you know all my kids going. Let me see. 130. She's 30. She's 33. She's 33. She said it's going to help me. She said, Mommy, I just need you to find your way again, because I was so lost in so many ways. Nobody never knew that I was.
So are there warning signs? Like, if it's somebody on here that may be going through the same thing and don't see it, are there warning signs?
I don't know what the warning. I don't know, because my warning signs happen out of the blue. Just slapping me in my face, throwing me on the floor, kicking me, stomping me. I don't know. I don't know why that warning sign came. But then I think me, when I seen little stuff, my mouth hits. Like, what's going on? I went to girls' houses. I don't care who you are. Like, I want to know, what is your reason? We're in a relationship. And that's how I was voting. I really didn't care at that point. Like, I want to know why. And every time I ask the question, why, come up with a lie. Like, you want to stop lying to me. Like, I'm not stupid. I seen it. I've seen it so many times, different places, different times. I just was tired. I was
Now,
so
so was he the type that afterwards, you know, he want to make up and say he's sorry? Was it
girl,
like that?
girl, that makeup stuff was not working for me no more. He wasn't. He wasn't. He wanted to run my life. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't wear certain stuff. He just wanted to be a dictator. And because he was supporting us more, because I was only working part-time, he just figured that he could do whatever he chose to do to me. And I was tired. I got tired. Y'all understand? That tired part will drain you. It would drain you so bad. You just be like, oh my God, what is going on here? And it came to that point, like, I just wanted to run. I'm telling you, I just wanted to run for my life. Like, please just let me go. Let me go. After that, he finally let me go because that was it. That was it.
So we have a question for, or I guess, is it a question from Basima?
No, it's not a question. I wanted to talk about when you asked the question about the warning signs. Because when I was like 16 or 17 years old, my daughter's father, I know you know it because I done told you about it. I was in an abusive relationship, but I didn't know it was abusive because I was fighting him back. But the warning signs, when I think back on it, it's like they do something to see how far they can get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I can remember me and my girlfriends and stuff, we were going out. So I was, you know, being grown, I was staying at his house or whatever, but I was getting dressed and, you know, I'm looking cute. And this Negro poured baby powder all over me. So I couldn't go out. You know what I'm saying? So so when he did that, you know, I swung on him and, you know what I'm saying, we fight, you know, whatever. But I'm like, okay, I'm young. I'm thinking it's baby powder. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no big deal. But the next time, it was like a smack mush. Me and him still fighting. I'm thinking we just fighting, but that's abuse. Like, you know, you don't got no business putting your hands on me. So as time went on, he would try to do stuff worse and worse to the point where me and this dude was fighting like we was two niggas on the street, for real. Because I'm not letting you hurt me. And then it got so bad for me, I turned into the abuser. So it got to the point, okay, well, you started out putting your hands on me. Now, okay, you trying to go out or you trying to do something. Now I'm going to swing on you or I'm going to get mad. You know what I'm saying? So you can't go out or whatever. So it's like those little things, a push, you know what I'm saying? A smack or, you know, mess up your clothes or mess up your hair. Those are the warning signs because they're trying to see how far they could go. And with him, he knew that I was going to fight him. It got to the point where you a dude, he used to try, like, because he knew that me and him was going to fight. Not that I could beat him, but he knew it was going to be a fight. Then you started sneaking me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm sitting there or something going on, I ain't paying him no mind. I'm thinking, okay, we arguing a little bit, whatever. Next thing you know, this joker's swinging on me. Dang, I didn't even think the argument was that serious.
So let me ask you a question because Tracy and Valerie, this is to you too. So Tracy in the messages said, yes, my experience has taught me that there's often a family history of it. And so was it in your family? Did you see your mom? Valerie, you muted. So unmute yourself. And then Basima, you answer, let Valerie go first. And then you answer, was it something you saying or Valerie, you talking, but you're muted. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so no, it wasn't that. My mom and dad had disagreements, but not where my mom and dad were like fight. My mom told my dad from the beginning, we don't roll like that. Me, it was I couldn't do anything. The kids, I got my clothes ripped off of me in the street. It was like, what are you doing to me? Why are you trying to hurt me? But see, I knew the hurt come because you was cheating. I already knew that. When you cheating on me and I find out, and I know I'm bold enough because I found out when I registered my kids for school one day and somebody hear my kid's name and she like asking me questions like, do I know so-and-so? I'm like, and who the heck are you? And sure enough, thank you. Sure enough, because she knew who I was. I just had to ask her, like, why? She knew my whole life. She knew when I was having my kids. She knew everything about me. That's what made me even more angry, right? So really people out here know when I'm pregnant, they know what you did to me because you told that we went down south. You visiting other females. Like I was that bold. Like I'm sick of it. Like we're going to stop this right here. And it's no matter what. In my old neighborhood, the guys were so angry that they was ready to tear stuff up. Like they was like, we sick of him putting his hands on you. Because I kept hiding it, literally hiding it. I had black eyes. My wrist was fractured. My mother had to come to the hospital. To this day, my mom is already gone. To this day, my mom does not even know that he was beating me. No, I'm sorry. I finally told my mother one day when she had this conversation with me, she was like, yeah, because after that first time after he put his hands on you, that was enough. I finally told my mother that I've been being beaten for over 10 years. Now,
So wait, so I know you at work now?
no, girl, I don't have to be to work till 6:30.
Okay. So wait, so let me, before Bob speak, I have a question. Or I just want you to answer this. So tell me, you ready? What would you say about the word, and I'm gonna throw this word out, and I want you to tell me what comes to mind with this with you. Love. Love.
Girl, love. I don't even know when the last time I really felt like not right now. I'm not saying not right now, but going back, I don't even know when the last time I really felt loved by somebody. You know, I still love a little now, but not in my past. I don't. In the beginning, y'all don't get me wrong. In the beginning, I didn't want for anything. I didn't even have to work if I didn't want to work. He was always there. Like he made sure I was good, the kids was good, everything. But
And now not talking about him. Not talking about him. Love period in your life. Love.
I don't even know if I'm loved. The only person I know I'm loved by is God. That's the only person I know that I'm loved by is God. And I say that to everybody. I know God loves me, that he's going to keep me together in the midst of any storm that I'm going through right now. He's going to keep me. That's the only reason why I'm still standing. That's the only reason why I'm able to talk. Because there was a time I shut everybody down. Like, don't talk to me. Leave me the heck alone. Get out my face. Whatever. But now I'm able to stand on my 2 feet and be like, you know what? I got this. And I do. Elaine, look at me now. Look how far God has brought me.
Yes.
I'm not going to complain. I'm better than blessed. No matter my struggling days, because I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I go through my days because people have pissed me off in so many ways, and I didn't deserve that. So since you pissed me off, I had to knock some friendships out, and I was all right with that.
So that was love. What about forgiveness?
I can always forgive because God forgives. That's the only difference. I dislike people for what people has done to me, which they had no reason to do that to me, but I can always forgive. I have no hate for nobody, just like my family. Everything they have done to me in my life, and they think that I'm stupid, like I don't really know, like everything, but I do, and I didn't forget, and I don't have no hate for them. I'm still gonna love them. No matter what, because that's not what God wants me to do. God don't want me to be a mean person and say, oh, you know, you can't forgive them, but you still going on. No, that's not me. That's not me. I can still love everybody and keep it moving day by day.
All right. So is there anybody in here has a question for Valerie or would like to say something to Valerie? Ronnie, you look like you want to say something, but do anyone want to say something to Valerie? Go ahead. I don't see you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I just want to ask in the midst of this, I mean, I congratulate you ladies for being where you are now in life and coming out on the other side to be stronger from it. But I guess my question is in twofold. since I've heard you and Boz talking. One, has this impacted your daughters to now as the guys they kind of go out and get? You feel like you kind of pass that trait on to them? And two, do you feel as though you were isolated, where there are no uncles, brothers, cousins around that you can say, let me, see this guy? Because the guys I know that normally have these type of behaviors, they have a history of looking for girls that don't have the males in their life. Like they look for those kind of girls they can spoil and kind of get away from the family and kind of hedge them in, like I'll take care of you, I'll buy you this, that, and the other. But then they're kind of creating this false illusion to lure them from their families. So I just want to say, were there not any guys to say like, whoa, what's going on? No, bro, it ain't working like that.
No. So with me having a lot of brothers, I've kept this literally to this day. My brothers and them do not know anything that has happened to me. Only people that know is people that see me on the outside where I was living at. Every time my brother would come around, I'm busy or I had something to do. Because I know my brothers was crazy. And I know that they would act crazy. Just like my son said to me one day, my son is now 33, so my daughter got to be 34. But however they all grown. My son said to me one day, he said, you know what, mommy, we watched you be abused for so long and we were so young and we couldn't save you. But he said to me, he said, mommy, today, if that person was to ever come back at you, whatever, it's on. He said, because I couldn't do anything to help you. And he said, every time I looked at your face, every time I looked at the bruises, every time I saw this, I was done, mommy. That's what he said. He said, I was done. He said, I was hurting because I could not save my mother.
But so even him being a child at the time, right? All your children, none of them went and told nobody?
Nope. They didn't want my family in our business. Nope. They never said a lick. Because we was that family that me and my children keep everything to ourselves. Like,
did you threaten them?
No, of course not. No.
No. I mean, sometimes, we as parents, we kind of, you better not say nothing to nobody what's going on in the house.
No, my children just stayed up. They just stayed up under me. They just kept watching me, making sure I was good at home. They never said anything to anybody at all. So I didn't never threaten them. I just didn't want, I didn't want everybody in our business. And that was one thing that I was dealing with. I just needed a peace of mind. I needed to find me again. And I did. It took time, but I'm good.
Do you have a daughter?
Can I say something really quick, Ronnie? Can I say something really quick? Okay, so the question Elaine said at first asked about, did you see the abuse in your family? Okay, with my mom, my stepdad used to fight my mom. He never did it in front of us, but we seen the bruises or whatever. He did it one time, and I vowed at that moment, because I got involved in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming up against this man. Like, you're gonna stop putting your hands on my mother. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had it in my mind, you're gonna have to beat me up too. You know what I'm saying? So I made it up in my mind at that time, no man is never gonna put their hands on me. I'm not gonna be in a relationship with like that. But the way my mind was back then, when I was in the fighting, with my daughter's father, I didn't understand that was abuse at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm fighting back. I'm like, he ain't beating me up. I'm thinking abuse is you just get beat up. So I seen it. I said that wasn't going to happen. I'm fighting in a relationship. And then, Ronnie, when you asked about, did you have brothers? My brothers and cousins and my husband beat my daughter's father up. You know what I'm saying? He got beat up. But this dude, I guess he liked getting beat up because, not that it continued, you know what I'm saying? But when I did let them know, like she said, because I'm fighting, I ain't got to tell my brothers I'm fighting them. You know what I'm saying? But when they did find out, they went and handled it. You know what I'm saying? Beat them up or whatever the case may be. But the way I was thinking, I'm like, we just fighting out here. But I know I told my daughter and my son, I told my daughter, I said, and this is when I was out of it and I understood it. Don't let no man put their hands on you. The biggest thing that you can do now, she got brothers, she got this, she got that. How you can save yourself and hurt him is you leave. Now I get it. Sometimes it's not easy to do it, but that first time he put his hands on you, it should be done. I know it's easier said than done because, you know, we love them and we want to do this and do that. But that first time they put their hands on you, that is a warning sign. That's something is wrong. So I told my daughter, the first time they do it, you got to roll. I don't care if you could fight them and do this or that. Told my son, if you got to put your hands on a girl, a female or whatever, you don't need to be with them. The biggest way that you can hurt them, in my mind, is don't bother them no more. And really don't bother them. That's how my mind's set up. If I meet a man today and he wants to argue and, you know, he wants to feel like he want a buck, we're done. I don't gotta be around you. I'm not arguing. I'm not fighting. You don't have to. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Is
When
there
you
someone
ladies-
else on here that want to speak on that topic as well? I know Ronnie's gonna say
Yes.
something again, but go ahead.
Yes,
Say-
hi, you guys. It's Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
All right, Tracy.
Hello. Hi, Ronnie. I just wanted to answer your question in regards to the effect that it has on the daughters, speaking as a daughter.
Okay.
I watched my mom be abused by my father for years. I mean, to the point that even as a little girl, I had to jump in front of her from time to time to shield her from him. But I was a daddy's girl. So I didn't take after my mom was definitely the type where she kind of kneel over and let it happen. I actually took after my father, similar to the other woman on here speaking. I started fighting these men back, mimicking my father's behavior. So when you would make me mad or you would cheat or you would lie, my instinct was to become violent. And that was the trauma from watching that happen for so many years. Like, it's not like that anymore because it took a long time for me to understand what was happening in the dynamic. I definitely thought it was normal for the longest. So if you're watching it as a child, it definitely has an effect for sure.
So Tawana put in the chat. She says, so you saying if you have a brother or someone to take care of that person, it solves the situation?
If the question is to me, no, I'm not saying that they take care of the situation. I'm saying the natural order of things as the male is to protect the natural order of things, and you protect the ones you love. That's just the internal instinct. What I'm saying is, if there are issues going on in a relationship where there's some guy putting his hands on the females in your family or whatever that dynamic looks like, it's more, like I said, from my experience of knowing these guys on that other side, they have a tendency to look for those women that they can isolate and do those things too. I'm not saying put your brothers, put your uncles, fathers, whatever that may look like, in harm's way. I'm just saying along the journey when you were getting beat and these guys were putting their hands and it was noticeable, were they not aware? Because I know some guys too kind of get scared and say, you know what, I'm not going to say anything to them. And they kind of look the other way. So I'm not advocating violence on violence. I'm just saying someone to step in to help the situation. And I want to say also in that vein, you ladies, when Elaine mentioned love, do you think at some point in time, I know you, Boz, you spoke and you said, you know, you had individuals that were males that were stepping to this young man and they were physical with him. And it still seemed like, you know, he didn't get it. He was coming back, but he was coming back because you were allowing him to come back, right? So I want to say with that, do you think that you ladies kind of had a false sense of what you thought love really was? Because love don't hurt like it was hurting. So do you think, like, in the midst of the abuse, that somewhere down the line in your mind, you crossed over to kind of what love is and equating this beating, like, this guy loves me, so I have to stay with him?
Okay,
I can answer.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay,
And
so
then after
with
you, Hunt.
Okay.
Hunt is on the phone. She would like to speak on this issue as well. Go ahead.
okay, so with the whole with my part of the abusive or whatever, my brothers and cousins and stuff didn't know about it in the beginning because, like I said, I'm thinking we just fighting. It wasn't until I decided to get out of it that I let my brothers and cousins and stuff know. And me and him wasn't even together. He was mad. The last incident, he was mad because I said, I'm done. I don't want to be with you, whatever. I'm at my dad's house in the back of where he lived on West Market Street. We about to go somewhere. This joker riding past sees me, jumps out of the car. And like I said, he got to the point where, he knew it was going to be a fight. He snuck me. He like hit me in my head. I had like a knot in my head. And my cousins and them all was out there. He weaved in the car, front of the cars and rolled out. So after that, they seen what was going on. They went up there, handled it or whatever. But with the whole thing about thinking that the people who you get involved, because in my mind, I'm like, I don't want my brothers and cousins to get hurt because something could happen when two dudes are fighting. Somebody can like really get hurt. I wasn't trying to get my brothers or cousins and stuff hurt in the beginning. Not that let me change that. I wasn't trying to get them hurt, but when it was over, I wanted them to let this dude know it's over. Go ahead on about your business. You can't be putting your hands on, When I think about love back then, I didn't really know what love was. I can't even say I did. But when I think about love, I really believe that love is what the Bible says. Love is patient. Love is kind. You know what I'm saying? All of that. Because if I'm in a relationship with somebody, and I get it, we have arguments, but if you're not showing me that godly love, it's not going to work. I'm not arguing. I'm not fighting. I'm not doing any of that because I know my self-worth. Not saying that nobody else don't know this, because when we going through it, we don't know. I know I was like 16, 17 years old, so I didn't know my worth about anything. So,
okay, so also, Tawana, when you want to message me, you can. So if you want to message just me, put my name because you still said it to everybody. So Tawana said it's easy to speak on the situation until you experience it. I've been there, but don't want to talk about it. And I get that. And then she also mentioned, which is true, sometimes you, and this is, I guess, to Ronnie, sometimes you may involve a family member and then you go back. And so a lot of people don't like to get involved because they get involved, they fight the person, and then you go tell, or maybe the woman go tell that they did it. And so a lot of people don't want to touch that. But I told your thought, Hunt, go ahead, because you wanted to speak on this.
Hi,
Hey,
Valerie.
Hunt. Hey.
Disney children. Hi, my daughter Shanice. I love you, baby girl. My daughter knows some of my abuse. She don't know all of it. So I guess this is the point where she will find out today. I was abused and I was in a couple of relationships. One of them was her father, which this one she knows. It's easy for somebody to say, walk away. You can walk. No, it's not. If your self-esteem is that broken down, that, excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You can't just walk away. You think you can walk away all the time, but sometimes you can't, because it's like you try to walk away. Oh, if you walk away, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this to this person. I'm going to do this to somebody that you love.
Mm-hmm.
So people can judge and say, oh, you should have walked away. It's not that easy. It took me years for me to say enough is enough. I thought when I left my daughter's father, it was done, but no, it wasn't. It's not that easy to walk away from an abusive relationship. We worked at the same job. We went to work together, came home together. I was abused, sexually abused. I was beaten.
It's okay. Go ahead. Take your time.
I didn't want to open this Pandora box. I didn't.
So Hunt, So if you want to stop, you could stop. If you didn't want to,
No,
so this is
I don't
what
want. I
y'all
don't want to stop. I don't
Wait,
wanna
wait,
stop.
wait. So this
Okay.
is what y'all wanted. There's nobody on here. I don't think my cousin on here, Lois, that's in the social work field. So for the record, this is none of us up here are social workers. We just sharing our experience. I do want to state that I do work at Shani Baraka Center on Clinton Avenue in Newark. They do offer help for domestic violence. They do offer counseling. So if it's anybody that I can refer after this, or you just inbox me, I will refer y'all to them. I will give you the phone number, because I definitely don't want to step into the shoes of a social worker. We sharing, we loving on each other. But if at any time anybody feel like they want to say, hey, here's my counselor number or whatever, that's what we here for. We a village. Now, what I don't want you to do, because you don't want to open Pandora box, I don't want you to let this make you go left. If this is somehow going to give you some healing, then you could do it. But honey, if it's not, if you're not ready to open this box, don't open this box.
It's okay.
You
It's
okay?
okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Go
okay.
ahead. I love you.
I love you more.
Go ahead.
It's hard because it's like, I know other people that's been through what I've been through.
Mhm.
I have conversations with them. It's hard. It's because it's like somebody punching on you, somebody choking your throat. You think you're going to die. Somebody saying, okay, go to the store, get me this. But if you don't come back, I'm going to do da 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 da. So it's not that easy to just walk away. Sometimes your spirit, everything is just broken down. You wearing sunglasses on your face because your face is got bruises on you got bruises on your face. You wearing in the summertime long sleeves and it's hot outside because you don't want nobody see that you got beat up. You not wearing shorts in the summertime because you got bruises on your body. It's a lot from mentally, physically, and emotionally that being abused, being a domestic relationship that you have to deal with until you say enough is enough. And sometimes you might think okay, I'm not with that person, but you get with somebody else and you thinking, okay, y'all done had this conversation. This is what you're not going to accept. This is what you're not going to do. And it's okay for a while, maybe a year, 2 years. Then somewhere something click, that person putting their hands on you. So it's a lot that you deal with being abused.
So I want to ask you, when you hear love, what do you feel about that word?
Now or then?
Now.
I'm loved. I have a birthday in 12 days. Yesterday, the other day, I saw my daughter. I was getting ready to go out for a minute. The look on her face, like her mother's turning 60 this month. And the relationship that I had with her is what I want, what I got. I love my baby girl. Like, it was just like, walk it, man, walk it, man, walk it, man, walk it, man. I took a photo shoot yesterday. I'm loved. And I know God is in my life. That's first and foremost. I know my kids are there. I know my friends and family. I know my children means everything to me. And I got what I wanted.
Okay. So I know you stated that, people feel like you can walk away and it's easy. So I hope you're not talking about the people up here, because we all just giving
No.
Okay.
Mm.
So when people, and I don't know, so when people even up here is saying things, right? So Shanice is on here, and Shanice is your daughter. And I actually met Shanice at Madison, when I was the
No.
parent liaison there. And I instantly clicked with Shanice, and I love her as well. And so, but for the one like Tracy, thank you, Shanice. So the one like Tracy, who talked and spoke from a child point of view, I'm asking you this question, and because you went through so much severely, not knocking anybody else, but because I know Shanice she's private, She don't want things said. You know, she want her business to stay her business, right? And so when the mothers that's on here that experience this, right? Because I'm saying it because of Tracy said it, do y'all stop and think like, oh my God, what this is doing to my children? Do that
At-
even enter, or is the fear?
At
How
that
much-
moment, it's
Mhm.
fear.
Okay, it's fear.
At
I was
that
going to
moment,
say, it's fear.
it's
Okay.
fear. Hey,
'Cause you-
Valerie, I love you.
I love you too, because you start to worry about your kids, like, what's going to happen with my kids? My kids seeing this, and you know, what's the next thing that's going to go on? But like I said, I got to that point where I had to walk away, and just like they just said, it's not easy. It's not, because just like she said, she wore sunglasses to work. I wore them every day until my coworkers and them was like, all this light in here, why you got sunglasses on? I said, oh, because my eyes hurt. They was like, her eyes don't hurt. Take them damn glasses off. That's what they said to me, just like that. And when I took my glasses off, they was like, oh, heck no. They was ready to call my family. They were. And I was like, no, my mom is not at that age where we can sit here. I'm gonna stress my mother out. And only reason I didn't tell my brothers because of my brothers' jobs. If my brother would have got in trouble, they would have lost their job straight off the bat. They would have lost their job. They would have been ready to just go off on everybody because they would have been mad. I didn't want that. I didn't want to bring everybody in my business. And the only reason a few people found out was because I was in the store shopping, trying to hide my face, and a phone call was made. Honestly, and I admit, a phone call was made, and they was like, is Val being abused? And they like, no, not that we know of. But I was being abused for over 10 years. I was. And I still couldn't get away.
So if it's something, and then y'all gonna take this time. So Basima, Valerie, and Hunt, if it's, and we talk about right now today, if it's a young person on this line, because you know, like, and even including Shanice, you know how when you meet that first boyfriend or that first love, and it's nothing that they can do. Valerie, you start first, then it's Basima, then Shanice. I mean, then Hunt, and then Shanice. If you would like to talk, you could talk. What would you say to a young person that's on this phone right now, if it could stop them from going through what you went through? Valerie, what would you say to them?
That first minute that you see that first sign is that sign that it's gonna go on. I didn't see that first sign. That first sign just came out of the blue. It just knocked me right out of the blue. Like, what just happened here? But I still kept going back because I had young babies. I wasn't working. I felt I needed help. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I wasn't the person to always keep dependent on, I wasn't dependent on my family or whatever. I was just felt like I was so in love. But if I could have saw that first sign, that first day, girl, I would have been like, you know what? That's it. Because you gave me that first sign that you're going to abuse me for the rest of the time that we're together. And I'm not going to let that happen to me. That first sign is walk away now. Don't even let it get to the next step. Say I can do bad by myself, because that's what I said. I can do bad by myself.
Absolutely. Basima?
I'm gonna agree with her. The first sign, verbally, physically, you gotta bounce. Because my thing is, we love people, but we gotta love ourselves just a little bit more. So once you see that first sign, you got to go. That's what I would tell them. Know your worth, love yourself more, bounce.
Absolutely. Hi.
I gotta agree with both of them as well. I have to, because there's signs, but I never seen them. I never saw them. I never saw it coming. So sometimes it is signs, but you just, like Valerie said, when you're in a situation where though you might not be working or you might not make enough money, and this person is giving you this and giving you this and doing this and doing that. Oh, it's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
But what at the end of the day, at night or in the middle of the morning, what do you have to take from that? They giving you this and doing all of this for you, but at night you getting beat up. In the morning you getting beat up. If the food is not warm enough, you getting beat up.
Jesus.
If the soda is not cold enough, you getting beat up. Just because you getting beat up. If you ain't get to the door fast enough and they got company, what you doing? You getting beat up. So run. The first time, walk away, run.
Wow.
And
Shanice,
don't look back.
Shanice, would you like to comment on this?
All I could say from a younger generation, it's not that easy as y'all saying it. Like my age and now, yeah, it's that easy. But the younger generation under me, I'm 34. Under me, it's not that easy. It's they come in like you see the signs, yeah, you do, but it's oh, I'm sorry, baby. Oh, I'm gonna buy you this. I'm gonna buy you that. So I see where y'all are coming from. But again, at the younger generation, they're not gonna see them red flags. I'm saying that because I was there and I didn't see it.
Okay, so being that you didn't see it, right, and you hearing them now, so you saying if we had to go out and help one of these young kids or young ladies, and sometimes even men, they get abused too, young boys. You saying they're gonna have to go through it, or because, like you saying, you don't see the signs, and all of y'all said that if they don't see
Yeah,
the
you don't
signs,
see the signs, but you know that one person might come by. Oh, baby, let me make it up to you. This is like they're gonna be a sucker and go back to it because that's all they know, and that's all they don't see that. That's not a red flag to them. That's a green flag.
okay.
So
And
when
so,
I went through it at a younger age, it was a green flag to me. Yeah, I saw the acting like my father. Oh, you can't go here, you can't go there. You gotta stay in the house. This and that. I saw that, but it wasn't a red flag to me. It was a green flag, and I was allowing it. Why? I believe because one, I saw my mother go through it in front of me.
mhm.
Like I saw my mother get abused in front of me, not right in front of me, but in the same house, and it was nothing I could do.
Mm-hmm.
It hurt it, and it was nothing I could do.
So Shanice, so and we're using you because your mom just spoke, so we're using you. So does that mean that it's going to continue because you have a daughter, right?
Yeah, she's 2 years old.
Okay, and so tell me, so because I don't know, so tell me what was your stop sign? Did it stop? Valerie, let me meet Valerie. What is the red sign for you then, Shanice? If everything in the younger people is green, what would be the red sign?
I can't say myself because I'm in a whole different time frame. Like I went through a domestic violence, I survived it, I went through, I won't say a physical domestic violence, but I went through something in my marriage.
Okay.
And it's just now I'm in a state of mind, like it's sad to say, and a lot of people is going to like I don't want a relationship. One, because I'm afraid for something to happen to my daughter, go through with it, and the generation can continue. So I just don't trust nobody, especially a guy. I'm sorry. As I say now, my mother can vouch for me. I'm going to how these guys say, "Oh, y'all play with us females. I'm going to play with y'all guys." Like that's all to it. I don't want a relationship. I got friends at the end of the day. That's just me. Love, I ain't no love. I only love my kids and my family. I don't love nobody else.
Shanice, can I say something?
Yes.
You sure can.
It's in love too, y'all too. Go ahead. All right.
Yes.
Go ahead. We waiting on you. She said you can say something.
Chinese.
Hello, Shanice.
Valerie, give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds really quick,
Okay.
please. I'm going to say this to you. I am. I'm sorry.
Mom, please stop crying.
All right. We love you. It's okay.
I'm
Yeah, let me
sorry.
talk, Hunt.
I'm so sorry.
You don't gotta be.
Yeah, I do, because I'm your mother. I'm
Mom,
sorry.
stop crying. You don't have to be.
Your daughter loves you. You know that, right?
It made me stronger. It didn't make me weak. It made me stronger. Like I let one man put his hands on me, never again. Like it made me stronger. It made me the person I am. Like you don't have to be crying. It made me stronger. You made me the person I am today. That was a downfall.
Shanice, tell me the word love. What you get out of it?
I only love my kids. That's it. Like,
and your mom.
I love my mother, like my immediate family, or whatever. Miss Lee is like an aunt to me, but anybody else, like I don't love nobody. Like I'm sorry, that's just me. Like, wait, let me correct that. I love the females in my family. I love the guys, but anybody else, like I can't meet a guy and tell him, "Oh, I love him or I'm gonna be in love with him because I had a friend and I feel like I was getting feelings and I feel like he was about to say, "Oh, I love you," and I had to break it off. Like I can't let that happen. That's just me.
So, but is that gonna make you miss out? Because what if that was the friend that
I don't
could,
want a relationship.
you don't want it? Okay.
I don't want one. I don't want
Is
one.
it, Greg?
It got a lot to do with a lot with my daughter. So, as you know, you and my mother know, my cousin on here, but she don't know, that my daughter's father don't want nothing to do with her. We're not together. He don't want nothing to do with her. So I'm afraid for my daughter to be around somebody, as I hear her crying in the background. I'm afraid for her to call somebody else daddy, and I'm afraid for her to see anything.
Okay.
Can I share? Hello? Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Say your name.
Hi, I'm Terry Nash, Elaine's sister. Hello, everybody.
Hey,
I'm
Terry.
sitting back listening. Who was the young lady that just talking? The one that says she don't want a
Shanice.
man because she have a. How
Shanice.
old is you, sweetheart? How old is she?
Shanice, how old are you?
I'm 34.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. But let me just share with you. I was in a situation just like you, but if you said, God has made women to be with a man. God have not created you to be by yourself. It's lonely being by yourself. And I was in your shoes. I was hurt. I was married. I had an abusive husband, and I went through stuff. A lot of it was my fault, but I went through it because I love. And my sister asked me, what's the question now? Love before love to me was hurt. Love was, okay, you could buy me this, you could buy me that. But love was hurt back then. But now, since I'm older and I have God in my life, love is God. Love is patience. Love is communication. Love is to be with someone, not to hurt. Love is not hurt. That's not love. Love is God. And I'm saying to you, I felt, the same way that you feel, I don't want to be with nobody. But it's lonely having nobody. Even though your daughter, she's going to leave you one day. And I'm going to pray for you that God will send you the right one. All men is not the same. I had different men come in my life because I had a bad relationship with my husband. I really didn't. I had other issues. And I'm alone today, but I'm good with it. But when you young, you want to go on trips. You want to go to the movies. It's not about having a relationship all the time. You can have a relationship with all the time. And you talk about you into a Christian. The Bible says that a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. You know what I'm saying, baby? I'm saying it's all right because I felt like that. But it's lonely on the top by yourself. It really is. You have your child now, but you're not going to always have your child with you. And I've been hurt, but all men is not the same. And I have a block because I don't want to be bothered with nobody. But I have friends that I was dealing with, and all men is not the same. But because I had a bad marriage, I had a block, and I don't want to be bothered with nobody. But I'm just telling you, you're too young to be feeling like you. If you have God in your life, He will send you the right one. No one is going to abuse you. No one's that's going to use you. That's going to treat you like the queen that you are. So don't give up. Don't give up. Continue praying because there is a man out there for you. There is.
Absolutely right.
There is a man out there for each and every one of. If you want it, if you don't want it, it's cool. If you want it, it's cool.
So
that's you and your God and your children, your sister, your sister girl, whoever. But I'm telling you, it's nothing as having a good man in your life.
Absolutely
He's complete. Some people don't feel like a man complete you, a woman don't complete you, but at the end of the day, baby, they do.
That's right. That's right.
Because sometimes your sister girl can give you that feeling that your man, I'm even going to say your man, your husband is going to give you. Because this is what the Bible teaches us. To have a husband and wives, right? Even though we're not perfect, we go through trials and tribulations, but as we go through, we learn. And we learn to be better, not bitter.
Yes.
We learn to be better, not bitter, sisters.
Right.
And let me ask you a
And
question.
I love you for this topic. I love you for
We
this
love
topic.
you too. And this is my sister Terry that's talking. She's my older sister. And so let me ask you a question too. And I'm about to mute you, Valerie, because you keep unmuting. But so Terry, was it a year ago? Maybe had a stroke, right? And you really came a long way, Terry. And I'm just so thankful to God that he's healing you. And even everything you said today was like right on. But I'm saying because, and I'm gonna ask you this because you was like, it's lonely. It could be lonely. So did you feel like that when you had a stroke and you had to do things on your own? Did you feel like, dang, if I had somebody, because you're saying it's lonely, what makes it lonely? You heard me, Terry? Did y'all hear me?
Yeah,
I'm
I can
sorry,
hear
I'm just talking. I put myself on mute. Just being alone. Sometimes you just need a hug. Sometimes you need that opposite opinion about something. You can have your sister, girls. You can have your sister, but it's lonely without a man in your life. And I always say, I don't need no man. I still say it, but I do. But I'm dealing with God right now, God, because I'm learning myself. I'm learning me. And a lot of things about me, it don't take no man to complete you, but it takes a man to have that confidence that you can say, oh, I'm married. Oh, my back itch. My back, wipe my back, baby. You know, it just makes you, it completes you.
Hey.
If that's the word that I want to, if that's the
Okay,
word I
right my
want to
back,
use.
baby.
So
You just need somebody to be to comfort you when you need to be comforted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
We
understand.
can do that ourselves. We can do that ourselves, but you know, God made man and woman to be married.
And it definitely ain't the same.
God
You
made.
said we could do it ourselves. And the funny thing is, me and Basima was talking about this last week. But I don't know if you want to share on it because she did have a little moment. And it's
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
real quick, Elaine,
Go
before
ahead,
you do
Valerie.
that, because I got to be on my floor at 6:30. So
Okay.
I want to say to Shanice, you know, it took me a long time to date again, Shanice. I finally met somebody, and when I met that person, you know how we would play pillow fight or whatever. We just broke, but I always would jump. I constantly kept jumping. And one day he said to me, "Why do you keep jumping?" And I said, because I'm afraid. He's like, afraid of what? I said, because I've lived a life of being abused for so long. He was like, what? And I had to tell him what I endured because I said, I don't want to go through that again. So I said to him, if you think that you're going to put your hands on me or I'm going to go through anything, please tell me now because I need to walk right now. He said to me, now mind you, he's much older than me. He said, I would never hurt you. I would never. He said, I don't put my hand on no female. He said, first of all, that first one, it's not even the first one. I've been hurt by others, but he said, should never have put their hands on you the first time. But this is what happens. And after that, the abuse that I lived so long, I haven't had that abuse. No, oh my God, for how many years now? I haven't felt that abuse. I felt the love, the comfort, because I needed that because I was always breaking down. I was always crying. And I always thought I wasn't good enough for somebody to really love me. Like, how can somebody love me? What do I do to make somebody love me? But I found out I got to love myself too.
So Valerie, how long have you been out of that relationship, the abusive relationship?
Oh my God. So let me see. My baby is now 22. I've been out of that abusive relationship since he probably was 7.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, since he was probably 7. And believe me, I got all these boys. All my sons are very particular about who comes around me. They are not playing those games. They like, we need to meet everybody that comes into my mother's life now on, because my mother lived through terror and she's not going to live through that again. And my boys is for real too. When I tell you my boys are so overprotected of me to this day now, if I go somewhere, what time you going, Mom? What time you coming home? Who picking you up? Who bringing you home? Like, this is what my son does now, because they be worried. They're like, nope, we're not doing what happened to my mother before.
Absolutely. So Valerie is at work and she got to get on her floor.
But I got till
Anybody that
6:30.
wanna-
That's why I said I want to hear
Okay.
everything.
So so I'm asking anybody, do they want to ask you or say anything to you before you have to get off this phone? Do anybody have any encouraging words, like to thank her,
Valerie.
Sharon? Go ahead, Shanice.
I'd like to say something.
Go ahead, Tawana.
That's
my best friend, Tawanda, right there, y'all.
Hi, Shawana.
Tawanda.
Hi, Juwan.
I'm listening to everybody, but my input on a lot of this, some of these men do what they do because, well, let me get it right. I feel like if you're dealing with a man, I feel like they should treat you the way they want somebody to treat their mother.
Mm.
So why
Yes.
why would they feel like they have the right to put their hands on someone if they don't want that to happen to their own mother
That's
or their
right.
sister?
Mm.
But
So
that's
right.
all I want to say. That was it.
That's a true fact there.
Juwan, that's true. That's real true. Because
That's the
like I
true
said,
fact.
I was an abuser with my husband, and I had 2 sons, and they don't beat on no women. That's one thing. My sons do not beat on the women. I mean, I'm grateful because, sometimes you hear people say their mother was abused and they saw letting men abuse them because they went through their scene with their mother. My sons saw their father hit me, and that's one thing. My sons do not beat up on their wives or their girlfriend. And I want to say to you, sweetheart, you were saying that, this guy, just do me a favor. Sometimes we gotta challenge them. You ever really challenged him to do something to make him want to hit you? Because sometimes, man, they have good games. Women do too. But sometimes you have to challenge them and do something to see if they're going to hit you. Because I could tell you things all day and all night, but actually,
The new
doing
guy
it is a
she was
tip.
talking about. The new guy.
The new guy. I don't want you to get hurt, but sometimes, because they know, men are slick, women slick too. Sometimes they know that you've been through down that road, so they're gonna tell us what we want to hear.
Mhm.
So my thing is for you to really know who this guy is. Do something to really tick him off and see what his reaction. I don't want you to get hurt though.
I was about
I don't
to
want you to
say.
get hurt.
But that's true though. That's true, Terry. Because you know what?
Absolutely.
Men they say I would
Absolutely. You
never
have
do
to
something to
challenge
you.
them.
They would say
You
I
have
would
to
never hit
challenge
you,
them.
and then
Hey,
they will.
Tawanda. Yeah.
Okay.
See, that talk is cheap. That actually walks, baby.
Mhm.
So, I don't want you to get hurt, baby, but you said you with him and you starting to feel him or whatever. Just do something simple, something real simple. One day when you see that, whatever his attitude, he's not in a happy, lovely mood, and do something to see what his reaction was. I don't want you to get hurt, but I'm saying sometimes you got to challenge them because, they talk good games. We
So
talk good games, right?
Shanice, you understand what she's saying, Shanice?
Oh, she hung up.
No. She's still there, but wait a minute.
I hear her.
Go ahead. What you say, Shanice?
You understand what I'm saying, baby?
But I don't let no male get that close to me. Like I just won't. Like
Yeah.
so when I feel him attaching, I want to say we gave ourselves a 2-month break. Like that's
But
what anybody.
you're the one that said that you don't want to be in a relationship, right? You're the one that don't want to be in a
Yeah, she
relationship.
don't. And
See,
she
I
don't want nobody close to her.
I understand.
I don't want to. There's another reason I don't want a relationship. So
I
have a daughter.
understand.
No, I have a daughter, and at a young age, I don't remember how old I was. I want to say maybe no older than 13. I got raped in my mother apartment by my mother boyfriend's son. And this officer, like he was a no police officer. It was to the point that he had to, like the sergeant came to the house and made him like surrender his son because they ran. So it's like, I just don't want my daughter to go through nothing I went through. I went through some of the things my mother went through, but not all of the things. So it's just like
Thank you.
I'm just scared.
Okay, we get that.
And I do wonder, and man, I just want to comment on her. I do understand what you're saying, but you still young, and you have to enjoy life. Not that a man can complete you, but you need to enjoy life. You need a man to go on a trip with.
Wait, Terry, I think she's saying, wait. So Shanice, are you saying, because what she's saying is she definitely don't want to get in another relationship and have a man around her daughter. So you're saying, Shanice, and she said because she was raped as a kid and she don't want to put her daughter in this situation. That's what you're saying,
I
Shanice?
understand.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
I understand.
So
I want to say something about the topic.
God would. I'm sorry, Greg. Wait. So we're gonna leave it with Shanice. With whatever God's gonna have planned for you, He's gonna have planned for you. We will definitely pray for you and keep you in our prayers that you and your daughter, your son, stay safe. Greg, go ahead. I know Boz had a hand up after Greg. Boz, go Go ahead, Greg. You
Oh
want
yeah, I wanted to say this. I know sometimes like everybody has their own situation, so I know a lot of people on here. I'm sorry for what y'all went through with the abuse, but I know like coming up, they always say a man not supposed to hit a woman, and like me growing up, I was overprotective of my little sister. So even if she get in fights, if girls come to jump her, I don't care if it's a girl or not. If somebody trying to attack my sister or fight me, I will help her fight. So with that being said, like even with like they always say, a man, you never supposed to hit a woman. Even if a woman attacking you, you don't hit her. But I think as a community or as parents, we don't never really instill in the women that under no circumstances you're not supposed to hit a man. If you catch a man cheating, that don't give you a right to hit a man. No matter what you're going through, it don't give you a right to hit a man. So I think sometimes with our generation, if a girl get mad or go through a guy's phone and catch him cheating or whatever the situation is, and she decides to hit him, if he hits her back, then to the outside world, he's a woman beater, or he shouldn't. I honestly don't feel like that. I feel like if someone hits you, then you got a right to defend yourself. I think that old school saying, or you're more powerful than a woman. I think that if a man is 150 pounds and he goes to attack another man that's 220 pounds, they're not going to say to that man, oh, you could easily overpower him. Don't fight him back because he's too little for you. I feel like that women, under no circumstance, should hit a man or should attack a man. I feel like we just gotta, or with the younger generation, like my father was in my life, but he didn't really teach me discipline or restraint. A lot of young guys don't really understand restraint. So they're not really like, they come up, you never know what somebody been through. So they're not really gonna allow someone to just attack them. So if a girl attacks them or hit them and they defend themselves, then it might look like that they're being abusive, because a lot of people look at it like a man should never hit a woman, because I've been through those situations. And even with my sister, like if I get into an altercation with one of my girlfriends, my mother say, oh, would you want somebody to do that to your mother or your sister? My sister had a boyfriend that I'm cool with to this day. I love him, like, and she keyed his card up and did all this stuff, and he hit her. So she called me up there, and we real close. He like a brother to me. So my mother was hurt because she said, why would you call Greg? So I came up there, I picked him up, I got him in the car, I said, yo, you know how my sister is. At the end of the day, he like, yo, bro, she was scratching my car up, she did this, that. I said, bro, you know how she is, bro. Just don't put your hands on it. Just call me next time. But I thought about it to myself, like, if another girl is keying my car up or hitting me and all that, I don't know if I would have that same restraint too. So we asked for stuff that we really wouldn't give in return, because, like, at the end of the day, no matter if it's man or woman, we still are human, and some of us not gonna have that discipline. So I think, like, back in the day, or some people's situations, it's like, oh, a guy coming to the house, because I'll be thinking about, like, a guy coming to the house and you only got his food cooked and he hit on you. That's abuse. Or if you say something that he don't like and it triggers something, he start beating on you. That's abuse. Now, if y'all having an argument or altercation and you going through the phone and all that, I don't feel like that's abuse to women. Like, I don't feel like that.
Well,
Hey, Greg, I
go ahead.
want to say something.
Wait, Valerie. Wait, tomorrow.
So
Valerie was about to say something. Go ahead, Valerie.
Just for a minute. So Shanice, I heard your story, and I have a niece that's the same age as you that went to similar stuff like you did. And you know what? She was talking to me one day. She said, Auntie, all I want to do is somebody to love me. And you know what? It took time. You pray on that situation. You ask God to send you somebody that's going to love you, that's going to love you and your daughter, because she found somebody to love her and to love her children. And she's been happy. And this probably been about 5 years now. She's happy. She's content. And I believe there's someone for you. So the past, like, I put my past that has happened to me behind me, for I can go on with my life, for I can learn to live for who I am. Because I didn't live for myself, Shanice. I lived for everybody else. And now I want to live for me. And I'm happy because I'm doing me now. Ain't nobody telling me, oh,
yes.
Nobody ain't telling me, oh, I can't go here or I can't go there. I get up, I get dressed, I go. So when my friend is at work, when he's doing his thing, do it, because we're not married. Do you? And I do me. And I continue to go on with my life, because that's the choice that I made. I didn't want to no longer feel like, oh, I got to hide, or I got to tell somebody, oh, tell him I'm here and I'm not there, because I was scared all the time. Now, girl, I go here, and if I tell my friend, oh, I'm going to social house, and he'd be like, oh, okay. But it's not like he runs behind me, whatever. Live your life. You're still young. My daughter, like I said, my daughter in her 30s. My daughter gets up and travel the world. She gets up and go. She say, "Mommy, I'm taking a flight. I'll be back such and such a day." I let her live her life because this is the choice that she want to make. But I got to go into my meeting, y'all. I really appreciate this.
Thank you,
This has
Valerie, for coming
this has
on.
really helped
That was
me.
real talk. Real talk.
And-
Thank you. Real talk.
And hopefully we can do this again.
The next
Hopefully
one is
we
the
can do it
28th. We do it the 2 times a month, the second Sunday and the 4th. So the next one should be on the 28th.
All right.
I thank you. I thank you.
Ladies. I love
you, Valerie.
ladies. And hopefully we can get together and sit down and do this also.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
God
I
bless
gotta go,
you.
y'all. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Go ahead, Queen Basima. You had your hand up. Oh, I'm gonna let you go, Tawana. Go ahead. Basima.
Okay.
Go ahead, Basima.
Okay. I was going to talk about something else, but we seem to be
Okay,
stuck
wait,
on this.
pause then. Basima, Tawana, did you want to touch on that before she goes something
I
else?
was gonna say what Greg was talking about, because I understand where he come about when a female puts their hands on you.
Mhm.
Because I remember it was a couple of situations like how he said how he always come for Anaya. I used to feel the same thing about my son. And I used to say, you always running, going to get your brother, and the way the society today is, you can get your brother hurt.
Mhm.
But and another thing I used to say too is this. My son used to say, "Mom, if somebody put their hands on my sister, his female, his mother, whoever," he said, "if they put their hands on my loved one, my sister, my mother, somebody, they got to deal with the consequences." No, and he said, "Mom, they got to deal with it. And guess what? If I put my hand on the woman for defending my loved ones, then I have to just deal with the consequences." But it's sad that it have to be that way.
Mhm.
But like Greg was saying, and I'm gonna say too, sometimes we do need to keep our hands to ourselves, because sometimes a man can say something to you that touch you, and you want to put your hands on it. Same way when a man, when you talk smack to a man, so you talk smack to them and you hear the buzz it, then they want to put their hands on you.
Mhm.
But that ain't the answer to everything, but it always happened that way. That's all I want to say.
And I want to
Yeah,
touch on this
and I
too.
want to. Can I piggyback on that, Tawanda? And I think that's because that's a brother and sister love. That's love, that you want to defend your sister, because you don't want no man hitting on them. Even though the consequences, they don't care at the time. But that's the love that a brother and sister have. They have to protect their sister.
Okay, but
And
too,
like you
also,
said,
me coming up in the school system as an aide, I was the parent that raised my kid like, the boys anyway. If somebody hit you, tell the teacher, right? Or if a girl hit you, tell the teacher. Then I became an aide in the classroom when girls will jump up and like swing on the guys, hit them hard, and then I kind of understood, like, now at what point do they just supposed to sit here and let them, like, girls go hard?
yeah.
And so in that way, which is true, if you don't want nobody to hit you, then don't put your hands on them. And so I get that too. But I think, Greg, it's different than abuse, than defending yourself. I think what they said, like you said, the food cold, the food hot, like, yeah, that's just too, they just went too far. Go ahead, Basima, you had your hand.
Real talk.
Go ahead, Basima.
I just want to piggyback too off of what Greg was saying. I totally agree. You know what I'm saying? Like, a woman shouldn't put their hands on a man. Like, we've learned through, society now, men are getting abused too. You know what I'm saying? Getting killed and you know what I'm saying, getting hurt. And I just feel like, how about nobody put their hands on nobody? You know what I'm saying? Because it's sisters that'll go hard for their brothers. It's brothers that'll go hard for their sisters. And it's just not right. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody should have to, go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put your hands on somebody, how, my instincts, if somebody put their hands on me, my instinct is gonna make me hit you back. You know what I'm saying? So if a woman fly off and hit a dude, they instinct gonna be protect themselves. Now you done got hit in the mouth, and now somebody done got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I get the whole thing about the abuse thing, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I don't know if are we gonna change it a little bit because of what Terry was talking about and the conversation that me and you had, like just trying to give a little background of it. I'm driving and I'm listening to the whispers. When I listen to the whispers, I think about my husband, I think about my dad. So I'm just sitting there and I'm just listening to it. I'm not sad or anything like that. And I just started thinking about, and Terry talked about some of the stuff that me and you talked about. All men are not bad. I believe there are more good men than bad. I just believe that. I done been hurt, I done did all that, but I still believe in love and I want to be married and hold on. But I'm sitting there and I'm telling you, I'm thinking about now, a lot of people on here don't know me, but I went through breast cancer. And through the breast cancer, I had my sisters, I had my friends, I had all that. I have a friend, but it's not like like that man type thing. So I went through my whole breast cancer thing without a man. And I'm telling her, I'm like, I just got overwhelmed because I'm like, I wonder, people, they say you shouldn't question God. I learned that we can question God because we want some understanding. We want to know why. So I was asking God, like, when I was going through this whole cancer thing, why didn't I have a man? Because my sisters, they were there for me. They went to the appointments with me. They hugged me or whatever. But it's nothing like that man. I've always been a strong woman. Okay. I got this. I can handle it and hold on. But I would have given anything just to have a man in my life that I can fall apart with, in his arms, like, because some days it was hard, and I was sitting there and I'm thinking, and I'm like, wow. I told her, I said, I have not felt safe with a man since my husband. And what I mean by that, I felt safe with him physically. They called us Bonnie and Clyde. That's what it was. If my husband was getting into something, I'm following behind him. They're gonna kill both of us, point blank, period. But what I meant by felt safe, he made my heart feel safe, if you can understand that. It's like, when I moved down here and all that, like, we would break up, we would get back together. People used to be like, oh, she coming up there and, you stopping all the girls from coming around and this, that, and the third. It wasn't that I had this control over him. He protected my heart. He protected my emotions. He protected my, my physical. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, my husband been gone 20 something years. I've dated other guys. I might have felt safe physically. I might not. And see, that's hard for me because I can't even, anyway, I might have felt safe financially. I might have felt safe, I'm going to say emotionally. I have not felt safe physically, emotionally, with my heart since my husband. Now, I'm not saying that they're not good men. God ain't brought the right one to me. But what I'm trying to say is, because it touches all, we was talking about the abuse of the men and all that. There are some good men out there. We have to be open to it. We have to not say, okay, because this one did this man gonna do that. Because it's just not, we can't put all that on all the Black men in this world. So the point that I'm trying to make is, I know we've all went through our abusive relationships and all that. I understand with Shanice about what happened to her and her daughter. I agree with that 100%. If it was probably me, I probably would feel the same way. But your mom, the way your mom talked, how she broke down and she said she was sorry, and how you talk, we definitely going to pray for you, because I believe that God got somebody for you, for your child. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe he allows us to go through these certain things to make us stronger, to make us depend on him, to make us believe that there is a God that will provide for us. So I just want you to know that be strong, be protective of your child. There's somebody out there if you want it, if that is desire of your heart, because he gives us that. I believe that if you got a more stronger or better relationship with God, he's going to cover you in all the things that you feel that you're not covered in, that you feel like you got to do. So Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I just don't want us to just bash our black men because they, you know, there's some good ones out there.
Okay, and I want to
Mine
say,
ain't came yet, but you know.
I want to say to Shanice, and we loving on you and all the
Yes,
sisters up here. We did have Javon up here. He had to leave with Greg, but also with I heard you say, your husband, because he was your husband, still is your husband, is not acknowledging your daughter. Don't want to be a part of her life. We gotta give her that extra love, right? Whether it's through your brother, your father. And you know, I could say the women could love up on her, but sometimes, you know, the girls is the daddy girls. And so if the brother could step in and just see that male figure, definitely let her know it has nothing to do with her, to give her that love that she needed, because in all reality, and we're gonna pray for your husband, in all reality, that's some stuff he gonna miss out on. But I don't want her to ever feel like, oh, my daddy didn't love me, and why? Because of the choices we make. So we're gonna have to give her that extra love and just let her know that she's strong, she's beautiful. You understand what I'm saying, Shanice?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But the only thing I don't have an answer to, what do I say when she asks to call him? Like, I ask my mother that, I ask every female I know, and I can't get an answer. Like, I don't know what to say when she
So
says call dad.
if she asks to call him,
She don't know what he look like. So
Oh.
she can see somebody like kind of husky with a beard and a low haircut. Mommy, daddy, go get daddy.
So let me ask you a question. So if you pick up the phone and call him and she say, let me speak to my daddy, if you pick up the phone where he don't answer or he say, don't call me, what happens?
I don't have, he changed his number. I'm blocked. And yeah, he had his family doing the same thing.
Oh, wow. Anybody got something on that one? I mean,
So he's not claiming your daughter because y'all are not together? Like, why? So if he can't have you, he don't want to have nothing to do with the daughter.
Exactly.
Wow. I know with my daughter, when she was smaller, her father wasn't not claiming her, but she used to always say, I want to go over my grandma's house, or I want to go over my dad's house. And I had to be the bad person to say, no, you can't go. No, you can't go. I think you said your daughter is 3, so she's not going to understand this. But when my daughter,
she understands, like, I don't, it's like, you can have a whole conversation with this little girl. Like, she a smart little girl, but it's just like, I just changed the subject because I don't know what to say. Like, I can't say, oh, I want to call him or this and that, because she'll get the phone. Like, she know how to work my phone, so she'll get the phone and try to call him on Facebook, call her grandmother. They just don't, like, they block me. So it's just like, I just changed the conversation.
Then you
like,
can say
let's
their
go
phone
to the
is
park
broke.
today.
Oh, they not answering, the phone is broke. You're not lying. It's blocked. They can't get through, right? So
Like, oh, let's go to the park. Let's call your uncle, or like you know, let's call your brothers. Like,
absolutely.
Like, it hurt me because I cried, but it's like, you know, I know what it's like not having my father there. My father was incarcerated my whole life as a child, so I saw my mother do what she did by herself. But it's just like, I just don't know what to say.
I say, man,
but
you
I
was
waited to
pumpkin what?
I was like, cause she maybe was like 5 going on 6. I when she turned like 5 and you know was like able like to use the phone and stuff like that, I said, you know what, like calling the grandmother and stuff, she knew the number, call, let them tell you can't come over there, or let your dad not answer the phone.
They still have a voicemail. She has
see,
her
that's
own
what I'm saying.
phone.
Say it again,
She
Shanice. I can't hear you. Say it again.
She has her own phone. She have her own phone. She know how to call that phone. They send her the voicemail.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Her situation is different because it's blocked and doing all that. With mine, with Pumpkin, I'm like, I want y'all to tell her no. I want y'all to not respond. I want y'all to not do that. But her situation is different because you know she blocked on everything. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy. Like, yeah, and what they don't understand is the kids be suffering. Okay, just because we can't be together, what that has to do with your child? That's not fair to the child. But then you're gonna turn around and you're gonna want a relationship, and then if she don't want to be bothered, then now you and your feelings. Come on, this is a little kid.
Exactly.
You don't want to deal with the mama, but you know, that's
I heard somebody was talking on iPhone.
But to piggyback off of what my daughter just said about my granddaughter, they blocked her. But when I post her pictures, like when I always post pictures of grandkids, they like the pictures. Oh, she pretty. Like that don't make no sense to me.
So it's nobody in the family or Shanice, any of his friends that he listened to, because guys have a one good cool buddy. Nobody that can talk to him to say, look, it has nothing to do.
So he don't like. I don't like his friends. Like they're not real friends. So he got like I'm cool with two of his cousins, but the cousins show their loyalty to me than him. Like they don't talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I don't know. Like he can come around my family house or whatever, but it's never like, oh, how Bria doing? Well, how she doing? It's just like, oh, like, oh, I got this with her. Like, I don't know.
I think you should enforce it. I think you should let it be what it is. Like, because at the end of the day,
Naya, say who you are, Naya. That's Naya.
Yeah. How you doing? I think that you should enforce it. I think you should let it be exactly what it is. At the end of the day, you're gonna go through her wanting him right now and everything, and it's gonna hurt you. But because she really don't understand right now. I mean, she understand, but when she get older, if she chooses to deal with him, she deal with him. Because for example, like my son 11 now. His father used to be around when he was 1, right? Then he started doing pills and he was like bad off the drugs. So my son ain't have no family on the father's side to really go be with. You get what I'm saying? So my brother stepped in. He always was the father figure. My other brother that died, Eric, was another father figure. So he had them father figures. Although it's not the same as your own father, but he still got he still got all the love from my brothers. You get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I used to be hurt because I felt like, wow, he don't got no, like my daughter could go be with her family and he don't got no family to go be with. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, I understand, but guess what? My son father, he in rehab. I mean, he doing real good now. He come around now. And even though he was, I'll let my son see everything that his father went through. Because I feel like he needed to see that so he can know what it's like. Like kids can hear you say all the time, like, don't do drugs and you're gonna be like this. But he had to see his father with no teeth in his mouth at the age of 27. You get what I'm saying? Like I wanted to let him see all this, but he still praised the ground that he walked on, no matter if he wasn't around or not. He'd be like, I want to go be with my father. I'd be like, your father going through something right now. Like he'll come around. That's all I used to tell him. I didn't kick his back in, and tell he's just a straight deadbeat. But I told him like he'll come around when he come around. You get what I'm saying? And you just gotta understand and accept that. And even right now to this day, my daughter's father was in jail for most of her life too. He maybe was home for 2 or 3 years, but she still know him. She still him on the phone. But I said all this to say that the guy I'm with now, like, he was a great stepfather, right? Even like he had a little situation, he went to jail. Let me tell you something. He called every single day, literally, and asked for the kids. Speak to the kids. What's on your mind? How you feeling? Like when he was home, like he get up. I don't have to get up in the morning. I was real sick after my brother got killed. I got real sick. And I had surgery. He was just there. Like he got up, took the kids to school for me so I wouldn't have to go to school. Like, so it's men out there that play that father role, but they also know that's not their father. We have a clear understanding that's not their father, but they love him as a stepfather. You get what I'm saying? So you're going to go through that. It's going to be all right. But, you just got to accept it for what it is. But one thing you don't want to do is force your child on nobody that don't want to be bothered with them. Because I used to say all the time, like, if my baby father family don't call for you, oh, you're not going to call them, ask to go over there. Like, if they don't want to be bothered with you, you don't be bothered with them. You don't ever push your kid on nobody. So just, like, talk to her and let her know he'll come around. He going through something. Say something like that. And if he chooses not to come around, she'll understand when she get older. You get what I'm saying?
And then I mean, Naya too, then you got to tell, like, even though she said her son's father was on drugs or whatever, like, so now I think since he in the rehab, I want to say he been out or whatever, and he's getting stuff. He come get Devon, they go walk or wherever they go. Devon is so happy. So even though that lapsed time, he's just happy to see his dad. He's just happy to walk across the bridge with him to go get something to eat. And so regardless of what, they're going to love who they love. They're going to love their father. If they're not in their life, if the mother ain't in their life, they're going to love them. But like she said,
don't force it. Just let it be what it is. That's how I feel. Like, I'll let it be what it is. I used to be sad because I feel like, damn, like, I'm really a single mother with 2 kids. Although I had help, I have a great support system. Like, my mother and my brothers and my aunt, like, I got a great support system, but it still felt like damn. Because at the end of the day, you still got to deal with them. Like I used to have breakdowns and everything. Like even though I had the help, it was hard. It's hard. It's hard explaining to them when they keep asking. It's like I didn't have the words to say either, but I never talked down on them. And I'm lying. I did talk down on them. I did. I ain't gonna lie. But I did talk down on them, but that didn't mean nothing to the kid. But like I did tell you.
No.
No, let me tell you. Listen, but although I talk down on them, sometimes I'll say, I let them see what it is for themselves. Even my daughter, right? Her father is locked up right now. The mother, I can't get with her. She get drunk and she just.
I hope she's not on here.
I don't care if she on here. She get drunk and she do too much, right? And it was to the point like every time she beef with me, she'd say something about my daughter. That's why you a hoe. That ain't his daughter anyway, or she ugly. She don't look like him, or anything, right? So I got to the point where like my daughter's 7, right? But since she was young, she's like way ahead of herself, so she know what's going on. But I ain't gonna lie, be straight up and tell her, don't talk to her no more. Like I don't want you talking to her. It's nothing for y'all to talk about, because every time she have a situation with me, she says you ugly, you not your father's daughter. And at the end of the day, I say all this to say that if you saying all these things about her, that means you really don't like her. So when you calling me asking for her, that means this is all fake love, and I don't want my kid around that. So I'm gonna protect my kid. People won't understand that. They might say that's being childish, but at the end of the day, you gotta protect your kid. Like, you get what I'm saying? So right now I don't let her talk to them. And she might decide one day she wanna call, but I don't let her.
Basima said we need to beat her up. But the flip side
I
to
wanted to
that,
say something to Shanice, Mom. I wanted
Yeah.
to tell her that because coming from as a kid who wanted to be around his father, like once my father broke up my mother, he told me one time, let my mother new boyfriend be my father, and it hurt me as a kid, and I was crying, and my uncle had to come get me. I like ran away and all that. And then my mother, like even right now, my girlfriend, her oldest son father is dead, and her youngest son father don't want to be in his life, and I'll be there for them and I'll take care of them, but nobody could take the place of your father. So even as a mother, my mother got mad one time. She said she used to come to all my Pop Warner football games, and I told her like I really wanted my father there, like I wanted my father to be there, and it hurt her because she felt like since she was there, that should have took the place of my father. But I just want to let you know that y'all women like Shanice, y'all can't stress yourself out over something y'all can't control. No matter how much y'all be there and do extra for the kids, you're never gonna be able to take the place of his father. No matter if it's an uncle or stepfather, no matter what, so they still gonna love their father. So you can never feel like you not doing enough or what else could I do? Like what you doing is enough. Like you being there for your kid, you got to like it's nothing you're gonna be able to do to shield your kid from that hurt, or when they get that age and they want to know where they daddy at and why he not been. It's nothing you're gonna be able to do to stop that. But long as you doing what you need to do and taking care of your kid and being there for him, that's all you can ask for. Like so you can't stress yourself out over a man that don't want to be there for his kid. He gonna have to deal with that by God. But what you doing, you just keep on being strong and taking care of your daughter. Like, you're never gonna be able to take the place of the father. But as long as you do what you need to do, that's all you can do.
so are you saying
Okay,
that?
nephew. Okay.
Wait, so are you saying that is that the child just gonna have to go through that hurt? Because like you said, it hurted you that your dad said that to you. They just gotta hurt and learn from that. You saying?
Yeah, it's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's nothing you can do about it. I mean, each kid is, I mean, hopefully about time they of that age, they get it and they don't. I mean, at that age, it hurt me when my father said that to me when I was 5. Yeah, that hurt. He said, let your mother know that hurt. But then as I got older, even when I wanted him to come to certain games, he wasn't there. I just dealt with it at that point. Hopefully because as I got older, like my mother even said sometimes, like what my father did, situations with my sister or what he did to me, like I had a long talk with him because I used to be disrespecting my father, like, well, not really disrespect. I felt like I got a right to speak my mind and say what I want to say to him. It might come off as disrespectful, but I didn't feel like he did what he's supposed to do. Like, so I had a real talk with him. I told him like how I was hurt. He ain't come to my graduation from high school, all my awards ceremonies, and he had his own issues, and he didn't like how he looked at it, and he felt like I would have been ashamed. So I understood where he was coming from. I still couldn't respect it, but I understood where he was coming from. So you never really know the issues that somebody dealing with. So hopefully he do come around. But if he don't, when your child get of that age, they might be able to have a talk, and maybe he might have a reason why he did what he did. Like it's really no reasons you can't be there for your kid, like in my book. But maybe they might get over it, or he might be able to talk. But at the end of the day, the kid gonna have to go through it. And he just, hopefully that's why you have all that other support. Like my sister said, she got me, she got my mother, you got your mother, you got us now to always help out for you. Like my girlfriend, she got me, she got her family, but it's never going to take the place of the father. And it's even worse when, like how you said, your father was incarcerated. And I know some people, parents passed away, but when your parent is there and they just not being there for you, it's worse, because now you want to know, like, damn, why he don't want to be here for me? Like, what I do? Like, so it's actually worse when your parent is alive and able and they not being there. So, I mean, you just gotta, it's really nothing you can do to replace them, but that's why you just gotta, I mean, you're doing all you can. So you just gotta pray about it. And now you have that extra support system, because it takes a village to raise a child anyway. Like, so we really don't need the father, but it's just what the kids want, and you want that love. But a lot of people could do without it, because like I said, it's people who parents passed away and they still grow and they make it through. So you can't make it through. You just got to give them that extra attention and that extra love.
That was good. That was good. Is there anybody else up here want to share on that? Tiana, Tracy, Kia, Badia. Go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yes. Hey, Tiana.
Hi. Y'all got me over here in like tears, but I'm gonna try to get it together.
Okay. Why are you in tears though?
Because dads are a piece of work. But back in June, I had went on vacation with my boyfriend, and when we had left, I had like pain in my breast, in one of my breasts. And when we got back, it turned out to be like swollen, and it was like a mass or whatever I had going on. So I made an appointment for the doctor. The doctor told me I had to go see a breast surgeon and all of this stuff. And at the time, I wasn't really speaking to my mother, and I wasn't speaking to my father at this time. And if anybody know me, they know my father that's my best friend. Like,
it's okay, TT. It's okay.
So
man up, bro.
I wasn't speaking to neither one of them. So while I was going through this whole thing and going to these breast surgeons, going to these breast doctors, getting all these ultrasounds done, I felt like when I was leaving the appointments, like they keep telling me I gotta come back, I gotta take medication, I gotta come back. So it was just like a circle of events. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I can't even call my parents to tell them what's going on with me. So the last appointment that I had, they told me that whatever I had going on, was half the size it was when I first came. So I didn't need a biopsy or anything like that, but they still want to monitor me. But it's like my boyfriend being here with me this whole time, like for me just being stressed about this whole situation, just not, speaking to my parents. It's just a lot. Like, I'm so tired of trying to be this perfect child to people. And I'm really starting to realize that this relationship that I even thought I had with my father he is not the person that I thought he was.
So, but TT, now we did just speak though, because what if we don't really know what he's going through? He could be going through something mentally or don't want to talk about it as well. Not defending him, but
no, I'm not taking that for I feel like me being the age that I am right now, being a woman, certain things that since now we're not speaking, it's like this man is really not who I thought he was.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life trying to be perfect for him. And I couldn't see that
I get it. I get what you're saying.
But that's, neither here nor there. It's just a lot. And I feel like a lot of times I keep to myself and I don't really bother people with what I'm going through, because everybody's going through something. Everybody got stuff going on in their own life. So what makes my situation better than anybody else's?
Well, I think that's why we have this, right? I think We have this because we come together and we can vent just like this. Some days you may feel like some people got their own things going on, and that's why we're here, because somebody might need a hug, or somebody might need to hear you say that, and then they go maybe talk to their dad. Or even with this, you can, we talked about it, you can go to your dad and say, hey, I'm feeling like this, and that, and it's up to him to respond the way he responds. But you got closure. You gave it, like you said, you're nothing what I thought you was. And I know what you mean by that is you would have never thought he would have walked away or even not called Kayur. And I get that. So it is a learning thing. We get to hear each other. We get to talk each other. Is there someone on here who would like to say something to Tiana about how she just said, about how she felt? Someone?
Yeah, I do.
That you hugs? Go ahead.
Could you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm hearing everything that she said, and I'm feeling what you're saying. But, you know, just look at, see how you feel aggravated and you're crying. You feel like you don't know why your father's like that. Let me tell you something. At least you could talk to your father now. God forbid if something happened to your father and you never got a chance to say what's on your heart, you're gonna really go through. Because I was in that situation. I was holding so much, and the person was dead. And I couldn't even vent out to that person. So I'm saying, I don't know, I really don't know you like that, but I'm saying, get an open door.
That's Tiana.
Tiffany daughter talking.
Oh, hey, Tiana. But I'm just saying, Tiana, I didn't even know because I had got one on mute because I was talking to my
you
son.
On the phone.
But
you on the phone. Mm-hmm.
No. I said I didn't hear her if she announced her name because I was on mute. I was on the phone talking to my son. But Tiana, I understand how you feel. But just imagine how you feeling right now, and God forbid something happened to him tomorrow. How you feel? It's gonna be double trouble. Mm-hmm. And you're not even gonna say, Dad, I felt this way. Dad, why you do this to me? So I'm just saying to you, because I've been there. I know exactly what you're saying. Why you have the opportunity? Question him. Ask him why. You and your father was close. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's something that he, like his name said, something that he's going through. Because if you didn't do nothing to him, why is he acting like that? So I'm saying, life was so short. People is leaving here so quickly. And if you feel like that with your father, open up the door and say something. Because if you can't say nothing to him now, baby, it's going to eat you up. I'm telling you. It's going to eat you up because you can't vent to him. Yeah. I've been there. And what I'm saying is the truth. So at least now, if you could talk to him, he could say something back so you can get feedback. Why he feeling like that? I'm repeating myself, but if something happened to him and you won't be able to talk to him and say, why you doing, what I do to you? Something. And so you could get that release. Go ahead, man.
Even if it's like, because sometimes at dads and mothers and, because it happened with me and Big Greg. When men or women come in our life, sometimes they get a little jealous, right? And I'm saying that, and I feel like maybe Joe got a little jealous, and maybe he's seeing Kenyon being there for you and you don't need him anymore. But at the end of the day, when you say, and I need you to know this, when you say your mom and your dad is not there, you didn't have that talk, you called us, and guess what? Sometimes people don't be there, but you still have us, right? You still was able to vent to me, Greg, and Anaya, and to tell us, and we was able to say, well, get a second. We said what we said, but because we love you, if you choose not to, or you do choose to go to Joe, or whatever you need to do know that we love you. And I will get up on the phone and say, Joe, look, because I have a relationship with Joe, and I know you don't want me to do that, but at the end of the day, I will not allow Joe to hurt you. I don't care if it's your father, if it's your mother, because I know, like you said, you are a good child. You are a good child. And if he's feeling some type of way about a man, then he got to put that to the side. Because like Terry telling you, tomorrow ain't promised. And if something happened to you, that's going to eat Joe up as well. That he didn't get to say what he needed to say to you. Or maybe he was mad because of whatever he feel like Kenyon is stepping in, taking his place. Guess what? It's going to have to get checked. So
TT, I want to say this to Tiana. I love you like my sister and everything. I want to say this because I know sometimes we allow people to get over because they are family and we love them, and because of situations like when people say life too short and all this, we allow people to get over and get excused. Because just like my situation with Khalid, everybody had their own interpretation of it. But I've really started speaking to Khalif because out of everybody in my life, I was so close with Khalif, and he know everything I was going through. That Kelly died, Eric died. I'm on house arrest. I can't come outside, and I felt like even over my mother, Khalif should have been the one there with me, making sure I was right mentally, coming there, even if just coming to check on me, coming to talk to me. And because he wasn't there for me in that aspect, and he couldn't come be there for me, I could never forgive him for that. I don't have to be beef with him. I don't have to wish harm upon him. I just would not want to ever have a relationship with him. So I feel like if your father wasn't there for you in the time of need, when you was going to get biopsies, or you felt like you could have had cancer, I feel like you should explain that to him, that he wasn't there for you. And I don't feel like he should be off the hook because he's your father or because life's too short. I feel like that he should understand that that's a vulnerable moment in your life, and that's the time that you needed him there. And I feel like maybe you should text him, or you should text his girlfriend and let him know how you feel, because you know how your father is, and sometimes people get defensive. So even if you say, and if you people emotional, so you might say it the wrong way, or you could, and that might just start an argument, and then it might. So I just feel like you should just text him how you feel, or text his wife, and so he can be able to read it without getting defensive and just understand where you came from. And I don't feel like he should be off the hook because he's your father, or he should. I feel like that at the end of the day, you know, it's no excuse. Like I just said with Shanique, it's no excuse why a man shouldn't take care of his kids or be there for his kids. And I don't care if you're grown or not. Y'all have that relationship, like he your best friend. He should always be there for you. Like, I don't care if you with Keon or he feel like nobody can take his place. He your father. Like, there's no excuse that could be made for him why he feel or whatever he going through, why he did what he did. But I do feel like you should get it off your chest and you should tell him. But I feel like you should text it, because I feel like I know how his character is, or he might feel like you taking that, or whatever the situation is. I feel like you should really get off your chest what need to be said. So I feel like you should text him and let him know how you feel. But I feel like if you feel like the excuse he gives you is okay and you want to, but I feel like you should hear what he had to say, or see what his reason is. I don't feel like you should just forgive him or make it all right or all because life's too short. Because once somebody wrong you, life always gonna be too short. And if you keep allowing people to wrong you and be forgiven because life's too short, they'll never learn a lesson. Like, so I feel like, but you should get it off your chest and text him and let him know how you feel.
Oh, so I'm gonna ask other people that didn't. Vadia, do you have anything to say on this topic? Or Tracy, do you have anything to say on this topic? And
I have something to say. Anybody say? Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm learning. You know, people say that you don't have to forgive, but sometimes forgiveness is not for that person; it's for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I had to learn it the hard way. You know, sometimes we say, like Greg just said, you don't have to forgive him. Right, you don't. But it's really not for him. It's for him, but it's more for you. So you can go on with your life. So you can move on and do what you have to do for Tiana and your baby. You know, it's easy for people to say, oh, you don't have to forgive. Because I was like that. But as I'm getting older and I'm learning, it's really not, it's for you, but it's more for myself. So I can have a clear mind.
Not to forgive.
No, I didn't tell her that. I said you don't have to amend the relationship or be back. I said, like, I would never have a relationship with Khalif. Forgiveness is not always.
I thought you said you forgive.
Forgiveness is not always going back. I could say I forgive somebody for, that's like if I forgive somebody for doing, that's like you're in a relationship with somebody and they did you wrong and then you forgave them. That don't mean you have to go back and be back in a relationship with that person. Just because you forgive somebody doesn't mean y'all have to go back to the same relationship. So, but people with family, people
you're right.
Yeah,
and so it don't mean that you have to forgive and forget either. But
that's why I said
in your heart, because when you hold on to things, Tiana, when you hold on to things and don't vent it out, you wind up having a stroke, you wind up having a heart attack or a nervous breakdown, or be on some kind of drug.
Yeah, that's why I said she should text him, because I know how Joe is, and I know how people are. So that's why I said she should get everything out respectfully. Because if you got your emotion and she mad that he wasn't there, it might come off to him wrong. And then parents feel like no matter what, even if you're grown, you shouldn't talk to me a certain way. I'm your so that's why I said she should text it, get it off her chest, so he can read it and get it and understand it. And then she should hear his reply. But I just feel like forgiving somebody and having the same relationship with people is two different things. But as family, people think like, oh, if I'm not speaking to that person, I didn't forgive him. Oh, you still holding on to stuff. No, I forgave him, but I just removed him out of my life because I don't want to give him that chance to hurt me like that again. So people get it misunderstood or misconstrued. Like just because you not speaking to somebody or not having that same relationship doesn't mean you didn't forgive them or you still holding on to something. It just means you done with that part. You don't want to put somebody in that position to hurt you again, or they did you wrong and you don't want to deal with them. But sometimes people just look from the outside and be like, oh, he's still not speaking to him. Oh, he holding on to stuff. Oh, he's still angry. No, it's not that. It's just that I'm just done with that person in my life.
So go ahead, Tracy. Let's hear what you want to say.
No, I was just really going to say that I agree with everything both parties said, Greg, and I think it's Tawana. I'm 34. My mom and my dad are both gone. I lost my mom 6 years ago. I lost my dad 3 years ago. Both parents made a lot of mistakes. And for the longest, I was harboring that. And life was hard. I was crying all the time. I was angry all the time. I just wasn't excelling and thriving in life the way I felt that I deserved to excel and thrive, because I was just harboring so much that I let them put on me. And I wound up trying to have a conversation with my mother about the offenses. And it just was a lot, like he said, it's better to text sometimes because people get defensive. You're a child, you shouldn't talk to. That's absolutely true, because that's how my mother treated it. It just turned into a big shouting match and made everything worse. But eventually, my mother came around and understood that whether she agreed with what I was saying or not, or whether she wanted to own up to the mistakes that I accused her of making, all I needed was an apology and a hug. And when I got that from her, it changed the whole dynamic. I had to be okay with, I got the apology, let it go. Whether it was genuine or not, whether she just, she just said it just to shut me up at the moment, I had to be okay with that apology. And I had such great peace. And 2 years later, I lost my mother. But I'm okay because we were able to settle that beef before she left. And I really put my all into moving forward and no longer bringing that up. Same with my father. When him and my mother broke up, when she finally put him out from all the abuse, he had a chip on his shoulder and kind of took it out on his children. I'm talking about he was supposed to come and pick us up and take us to McDonald's. And my mother got us sitting on the porch for like 4 hours waiting for him because we still believe in our heart he's coming. Wound up my mother grabbing her purse and taking us up to the McDonald's, to make it right and get through it. So sorry,
No, go ahead. I muted him.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So to the young lady who is concerned about the father's, being active in the child's life, again, that was a situation where my mother, she never talked down on him. She let us sit on that porch for hours. She let us pick up the phone and make those phone calls. We came to our own understanding of who was wrong here. Like it wasn't my mother. It wasn't her fault. She did the best she could. We learned who the real problem was and we accepted it. So all I want to say is that ultimately, everything under the sun, I've been through it. We'll say that for another day. The only way that I was able to make peace in my life is just to, one, be okay with the apology I never got. Two, be okay with the apology that I did receive, whether I knew it was genuine or not. And three, not let that stuff sit on my back and the actions of other people harm me, because people are just doing the best they know how to do. Whatever they were taught, whatever generational curses they've been going through, whatever they're just doing what they were taught. And we have an opportunity to set a whole different dynamic for our children and our future generations. And you really just have to not allow them to cause so much chaos within you and find a way to be at peace with yourself. And I heard someone say it earlier, because I know it's like, well, how do you do that? Ultimately, for me, and it's not about religion. I'm not encouraging anyone to automatically become a believer, but that was me digging deep in God. That was me reading my Bible. That was me crying it out. That was me going and getting therapy. That was me putting Post-it notes on my mirror in the morning, reminding myself, you're beautiful, you're worthy, you're capable, you can do this, you deserve this. I had to speak life back into myself and forgive those people, whether they were sorry or not, so that I could get ahead. And ultimately, today I'm at peace. So I just want to let y'all know, I know I'm going off, but I will keep you in prayer. I am a God lover over here, prayer warrior. I will keep you all in prayer, but please challenge yourselves to not let the mistakes of others be such a burden on you. Forgive yourself, forgive them, whether they say they're sorry or not. If they didn't do you right and they want to continue a relationship, let them. You know how to work it. You know how to not let people let you down again, not rely on them in that sense again. and still have a decent relationship with them. No, it may never be the same, but you don't allow people to hurt you twice. You know, you don't give them that power twice. So please, please, please just take a deep look within you and really just start working on self. And I encourage you, get into prayer. Trust God. Your life is beautiful. You know, He won't put more on us than we can bear, and he has plans for us to give us hope, to give us a future. You know, not to harm us. Plans for us to prosper. I want you to really believe that and just dive into it. That's all I wanted to say.
So Tracy, I want to thank you. Tracy, because you, I don't know if you did it on purpose, but at one point in the Zoom, you took the video off and you showed yourself. And if you could do that again, so people could put that voice to that face. I met Tracy yesterday at the Let's Heal Together. Tracy, you did really good. You said everything. You touched on everything. You might not have to be the host on the 28th.
Oh no,
you touched everything. But Tracy was the photographer at the event. So if anybody have any, and this is not just, but I'm just saying, because where we were, she was taking pictures, and I know we have different events coming up, and just in case, what we should do is always network, and look out for each other. She says she don't charge that much, maybe 100 or whatever. Yeah, we can work that out. But if anybody need a photographer, she was really good. Johnny on the spot taking pictures of everything. You touched on everything, and yesterday, even just watching you take pictures, it's just the fact that you never know someone's story. And everything that you said that you went, it didn't show, right? I couldn't see that behind that woman taking a picture. And so you never know what a smile covers. And I thank you for joining today. She said she would, and I thank you for that.
Thank you so much. This is awesome. And again, I'm praying for everyone on this line today for sure.
Now, Radia, I don't know where you are, Radia, would you like to say anything? I know that y'all that we get on here at 5 and now be like, oh, it'd be so long. But what I always tell her, I'm never gonna cut someone off from sharing, because we've been on here since 5 and it's now 7:15, and I'm fulfilled and I feel full. And hopefully when we get off, everybody feel full, not halfway empty or not, halfway full, but full. And hopefully you can tell the next person to get on, because what we doing is we loving on each other. We being that village that we need, not this community that's going on. I did ask the guy, because I work for the city of Newark, I asked this guy, David Carter, to get on. But he did want me to reach out to people because of all the violence that's going on in the city. People getting shot, the 9 people getting shot, the 3 girls being shot, the 1 girl who committed suicide, who was pregnant, she hung herself. It's just so much going on. Naya was reading the other day in court. A man was in court with a woman and he stabbed her up. So Newark is having a call to action citywide peace walk. And it's going to be August the 20th, which is next Saturday at 2 p.m. I'm going to get on and join the march. I think you can march, you can ride your bike, you can have the car and just march. And we walking for peace. It says, attention, mighty Southward residents. Join us with your cars, motorcycles, scooters, or ready to walk for peace. Starting location is Chancellor Avenue and Aldine Street. And if you want to register, it's a number 973-733-3013. This is a family affair, so bring out your loved ones. Everyone is welcome. And then I'm just gonna do it as well, because I believe that we do need to walk and we do need to try to get as much peace as we can with everything that's going on. Like everyone said, tomorrow is not promised. So we should let everyone know that we love them each day. In closing, that's me going out. Radia, I don't know. I called Radia a couple of times. I don't know if she's still on. If it's someone that would like to say something in closing as we going out, please feel free. Now is the time.
I'd just like to say to everybody that reached out to my daughter when she talked, I would just like to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
And that's what we here for. That was Hunt. Next is another iPhone up here. I think that's Greg. If you want to say something going out. If not, Basima. Maybe. Go ahead, Tawanda.
Thank you so much. I was going to say thank you to everyone. Everything that was being said today touched me, and it opened up my heart to a lot of things that I was going through that I left closed. Thank you, Ms. Elaine Lee, my bestie. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone. Everybody enjoy this beautiful Sunday. And I moved to Atlanta. I'm trying to fit in. I'm trying, Elaine.
Oh, it's hard?
No, it's not that it's hard, but I'm used to working like 3 jobs and all that. So I'm not trying to work that hard. So it is a little, stressful, but I'll be all right. I keep faith alive.
Yeah, we're gonna pray for you, but you always can move back. I mean, I'm sorry that just slipped out, but we're gonna keep you in our prayers. Basima, you wanna say something?
Yeah, I want to say thank you to everybody for coming out. The last 2 weeks, was good with the topics, and
And we appreciate this platform.
hold on, Felicia want to talk.
We appreciate this platform. It's really good today.
And so maybe one day you're gonna share, huh, Felicia?
One day.
Okay, it's good. It's all in time. It's whenever you ready. We definitely don't want to push nobody. Shanice, would you like to say something? Shanice,
Just, I appreciate everything. That's it.
and we love you.
I love you too. And stop putting me out there like that.
I love you. That's why, right?
I love you too. Now I have to go back in my show, y'all. And Greg, I appreciate you and everybody else in Aya, and I remember nobody else's name.
Well, look at the screen. And Shanice, we gonna pull you out that shell. Kia, you didn't even talk today. Would you like to say something, Kia?
Hey, Ma, I had a whole lot to say, but nah, we're going to end it. We could cut it. I could always go another time. Naya called me and Shanice called me, and y'all, everybody have a happy Sunday. The subject is like very triggering, so I think I'm going to get off now.
Okay, well, we're going to end it, so don't get off. We're going to go off together. We love you. Naya, you want to say something in closing, Tiana? No, Naya? No. Tiana, you want to say something in closing? Terry? No. Okay. Tiana, I hope you got something out of what everybody said and you took it in, okay? Tiana?
Yeah.
All right. Terry, we going to be ending it. You want to say something in closing, Terry? You on the phone? Then maybe she's going to unmute. Basima, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? I would like to say, my heart goes out to you for the situation that happened with you losing your son and your other son getting shot. But God always have a ram in the bush to turn things around, because this platform is much needed. People could get things off their chest. People that's hearing things, that don't want to say things, that going through things, and they say, well, you know what? I don't go through what she's going through, but I'm going through this way. Maybe I could go to a counselor. Maybe I could talk to them next time. Maybe I could turn to God. Maybe I could turn to Allah. It's good that you get this platform, because it's much needed. And I salute you, my sister. My heart goes out to that you had to go through that to get to this. But this is all working together for your good, for my good.
So let me say something in closing, because I didn't share. And so, for the ones that know, everybody know that Eric got killed. My mother died. My brother died, which was my best friend at the time. And then, people say that smile hides their pain. It really doesn't. So Wadu, which is my friend, he's not up here, Craig Hatcher. I was engaged to Wadu 24 years ago. And he got locked up, and through the years we would touch and see each other. And he's home, and he's been home a year, May yesterday, and he's back in my life. And I kept saying to people like, Basima was like, you should marry him. And I was like, and I'm not gonna go with nobody that been in jail for so long, right? And I used to say that. And then I had to talk to Basima. We was talking about how you can have, for me to say I don't want to be with somebody who was incarcerated for such a long time, because they got to come out and start over again. And I was saying that I have dealt with people in my life that know me as a strong person, that I'm not going to ask for nothing. But when Wadu came out, he was on parole. He got this job that wasn't paying much. And he gives me more than anybody that I've ever was in a relationship. And it's the little things, right? And it's money that he really don't even have. And if he had 5, he's giving me 2 or 3, right? And saying that, so he had got a cold, and he went to the doctor. He got an X-ray. And he ended up with a mass on his lungs, right? So they said it's a mass on his lung and a nodule in his chest, and it's a cyst on the kidney. And even though you know, I believe that God do things for a reason. And one day I was sitting there and I was saying, you know, we talking to the doctors and I'm going with him through his appointments, and thank God for grace and that I have a job that, you know, I can have sick time and vacation time, and I'm going with him through this, right? And God willing, we won't claim it. You know, the doctor said, kind of, it could be stage cancer, lung cancer, but he's going on, you know, we did the biopsy twice.
But excuse me. Why is you up here telling his business?
It's okay. It's
That's
okay.
what Felicia just said.
Listen, excuse me. Don't interrupt me because I'm giving my story. And he shares his story,
That's his
right?
story.
And so because he went through this, I'm saying all that to say that I asked God, what's his plan? Right? Because in my mind, I'm like, you know, if he's sick, and you know, he was talking about that. We talk about, well, if you're sick, what do you do? What do we do? You know, and I just feel like God gave me another chance with him. And regardless if it's an illness, I'm going to be there through this illness, right? I shared that on Facebook, right? That God do things for a reason, and I don't know. And so even though I got to be strong with dealing with Eric's death and worrying about Greg and worrying about a night illness, if God gave me another burden, a burden that I can bear, because they say he don't give you no more than you can bear. I mean, I'm going to be there with him through thick and thin. And I'm saying that to say that we all shared today, and that's on my heart. You know, the not knowing what if, but we all meant we strong. We're not built to break, and we're going to make this through. And you know, I will try to keep Radu in prayer as well as me. You know, for our strength and our courage and our faith, and whatever God gives us that we can withstand it. Basima, do you want to take us out in prayer?
You're a strong woman. I love you.
I love you too.
You ready now?
Yes.
I mean, is Terry still on there? Terry can go on and pray out.
Terry? Yeah, we usually do Crystal and Basima, but Crystal didn't get on today. So Terry, when we usually get on, Basima either pray us in and Crystal either pray us out, and moving forward, Radia is up here. And I mean, if she wanted to do the Muslim thing, but she didn't get to talk. So it always don't have to be, it could be.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we could.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Could
you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, so we asking you to pray
You
us
ready?
out. Yes, we ready.
With all my just said, I say, Father God, we thank you.
Yes.
Father God, we thank you for this opportunity that you have this platform open so we can all come together and vent out. Yes. Father God, we thank you that we don't share everything on here, but we share that something that somebody needs to hear. We share everything to our Heavenly Father or to Allah, whatever you believe in. Yes. So, Father, we just thank you for this platform. Father God, we ask that you will bless Elaine abundantly because of her caring heart to share. As I always say, sharing is caring. So, Father God, whatever anyone that's under the sound of my voice need, Father God, we know that you can do it. So we can just say, help, Father. Yes. Help us. Help us in time of need, God, when we going through, Father. Help my sister. Oh, God, she's going through a lot. But, Father God, I know that you will bear all her burdens. Father God, meet her at her need, wherever she stands in need of. Father God, I don't care what the doctors say about what I do. I believe what you say, God, because by your stripes, he will be healed. If that's your plan for him to be healed. If that's your plan for him to be healed, oh, I know you to be a healer. I know you to be a comforter in time of need. Father God, touch each and every one that's on under the sound of my voice.
Right now.
And God, whatever they stand in need of, work it out. Show yourself strong and mighty, God. Show yourself strong and mighty, God. And let them know that it's nobody but you. Yes. God, we thank you for this time, Father God. Meet us at the next appointed time. Let no harm come against neither one of us, God. Walk with us, talk with us, guide us, but most of all, protect us and love us. Father God, I thank you for this time. Yes, thank you for my sister, Father God. Bless her in a mighty way that only you can do. In Jesus' name. I don't know how to do that. Alhamdulillah, whatever y'all say in Muslim, all that stuff. All that stuff. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
We're gonna go have some music, everyone. So next time, the next one is the 28th. I will send out the flyers on the 5th. Everyone be safe and we love you. Always, if you want to inbox me for somebody that you would like to speak to or somebody phone number, feel free. Love y'all. Peace.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you, peace.
Let's get some music.
Chanel, who's that?
Who? On my screen?
Oh, sorry. No, I got you. I'm sorry. Love you.
Love you too, Tawana. I'm gonna call you.
Hey, man, you never do it like that. You need to look in your phone.
I know I'm about to end it. I gotta hang it.
So what the hell they with that fast?